On the
Yes.
line, yes.
On the line with us is Kun Sirat Rathapana, Director General of the Trade Negotiations Department. Good morning, Kun Sirat.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Kun Sirat, how would the implementation of FTA elevate the potential or affect the economy of ASEAN-China multilateralism from that meeting?
In fact, I just came back from a meeting between ASEAN and China. We call this forum the ASEAN-China Trade Negotiations Committee. I myself is the co-chair on the ASEAN side vis-a-vis China.
Yes.
And in fact, I have to inform first that this agreement we created about 7 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So it is the first agreement, FTA agreement between ASEAN with outside. The outsider, the outside ASEAN region.
Mm-hmm.
And for China, ASEAN is the first FTA partner. So
Mm-hmm.
this agreement, in fact, is relatively old.
Mm-hmm.
So what we are doing now is to review, monitor the implementation of the agreement.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And we also have to update, kind of modernize the agreement in line with the other FTA agreements that ASEAN have with other dialogue partners.
Mm-hmm.
As for ASEAN and China, up to now, we have liberalized trade in goods, meaning we have reduced the tariff, most of the tariff, down to zero. 90% of all the tariff lines are subject to 0% now.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So we have still pending the reduction and elimination of some other products. Next year, the products that are subject to the sensitive track, that means the products that we keep in the list that we reduced bit by bit, slower than the other products.
Yes.
All of them have to be subject to 20% in 2012. So that means the further liberalization of trade in goods between the two sides. It means that the entrepreneurs, importers, exporters, they can trade freer, and they can, the tariff is not the barrier.
Right.
So what we are doing, we are, looking at the implementation part. What would be the problems and how we can solve them. So
Right.
I think the problem now is more on the customs procedures. It means that utilization of the tariff preference, whether the exporters, importers can utilize very easily or not. There are some problems at the border, so we try to correct those problems. So it's kind of meeting, regularly to implement and to make sure that all the commitments are being implemented, properly according to the agreement.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you ค่ะ
สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีค่ะ
Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Up next, we have
Yes, about car industry.
Yes,
about car
exactly.
industry sales around the world has been declined due to rising oil prices and fears of global recession. ชัยวัฒน์เหมือนหมี an analyst at commodity broker DS Futures Corporation in Bangkok said that concerns over the global economic recovery and the decline of car sales in China sparked worries that demand for rubber will remain weak. China reported a smaller than estimated trade surplus today as export growth slowed, India's industrial output cooled, and South Korea raised interest rates for a third time this year. The decline in crude oil price also weighed on the market as it eroded the appetite for natural rubber against its rival synthetic rubber made from petroleum. China's passenger car sales fell for the first time in more than 2 years in May as Honda Motor and other Japanese automakers cut output because of shortages caused by the March 11 earthquake. Deliveries of cars, including multi-purpose and sport utility vehicles, to dealerships fell 0.1% from a year earlier to 1.04 million units last month, the China Association of Automobile Manufacturers said yesterday. The last time sales declined was in January 2009, when car purchases dropped 7.8%, while the total vehicle sales fell 4% in May to 1.38 million units, according to the Auto Group. In the first 5 months, automobile sales expanded 4.1% to 7.92 million units, with passenger car sales gaining 6.1% to 6.03 million units.
On the lines with us, Kun Thipa Nawa Wattana Sab, CEO of YLD Bullion and Futures. Good morning, Kun Thipa.
Good morning, ka.
ค่ะสวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีค่ะ
Yes.
Kun Thipa, gold prices have become weakened on a news report that the U.S. economy might recover in the second half of the year, and also Saudi Arabia's decision to increase its oil production has also helped push down the gold prices. Could you please explain further about these two factors?
Okay, the gold price has become weakened because the investor at first they expect that Fed they will continue the quantitative easing policy for number 3, or what we call the QE3, due to the numbers of the economy numbers of the U.S. that we saw recently that they are very weakened. However, when Fed they announced that they foresee that for the end of this year, they believe that the economy will become at the recover stage, so they will not continue the QE3, and they believe that the economy will be better. So the investor so they expect that the economy will become better. So they drop the asset, what they call the safe haven assets. However, that's make the gold price become drop in the short terms. However, they not what we expect when they drop the safe haven asset. So normally we will see that the riskier assets that we will see, like for example the equities like the Dow Jones, normally the price will increase also. However, those assets like Dow Jones, the price is not increased also. It's also dropped for around 4% also. So we also see that those riskier assets is not increased also. So we also see that investors are not also sure that those risky assets, or they're not also sure that the economy for also the half of the year, the end of the half of the year will also see as a recover, as the Fed we also say as that also. So this is what we will have to see, that the economy will become recover as Fed will say or not. So in short term we will see the gold drop, but only in short term. And also another factor that you mentioned is about the oil price. The oil price for in the short term, when Saudi Arabia increased the oil production, so from 7 million barrels per day, so it increased to 10 million barrels per day. So it's make the supply increase. So it's made the oil price drop for around like $100 per barrel price. Right now it dropped to around the level of $95 per barrel. So right now that's made the gold price drop also, because gold price we all know as is a price for inflation hedge also. That's made these two factors make the gold price drop in the short term.
Right. So what is your investment advice to clients? Should they sell gold at like $1,540 per ounce?
Yeah, that is a good level right now, because for this week the level for the gold right now is at the level of 1,500 to 1,540 US dollars per troy ounce.
Okay.
So at the level of 1,540 US dollars, that's the level to sell. And when the investors see at the level of 1,500, that should be at the level to buy.
Okay, thank you so
Thank
much,
you,
Kun
Kun
Thipa.
Thipa.
Have a
you.
good
Thank
day.
you. All right. After this, coming up, Kun Onruvi, meet the SM Town live in Paris.
Wow.
Yeah, after
That's
the
very
break.
Exciting.